Welcome back to the Seen It All podcast. This is episode 7. And we are, I would say, back live with the duo here.
Absolutely. The duo is back live, and I'm excited. I am so excited for this episode and all we have coming up. I think Jacob and I are kind of locked in on getting a schedule going, bringing in content regularly, so much so that we're checking out some sponsorships. And
Yes, sir.
I don't know if it's official yet, but we got a packet of what, Jacob?
We did get a package, a semi small package of elements like salt.
Element salt electrolyte,
Yeah.
kind of a hydration packets.
And you have more experience with the brand than I do, but I tried one today and it was pretty good. It had more flavor than what I thought it'd be.
Yeah, Jacob. And once again, we're not officially
Yeah, this is
sponsored,
not official
but
shout out, but
they
also
gave
a
us
shout out.
stuff.
Yeah,
So
they did
shout
give
out
stuff,
them.
so
Um,
shout out to them.
yeah, I will say that I have boxes in my pantry right now, and I drink them pretty much every day just to get my typical kind of hydration. Their flavors, all of them are pretty salty.
Yeah.
They have a lot of variety of like different fruits. They even have like some savory ones they branch into,
Yeah, I've seen
like a salted caramel.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're very interesting, but I love them.
The one I tried, orange, was pretty good. But yeah, again, this is not an official sponsorship, but if you interested in that stuff, go check them out. It's Element. I think that's it. That's their entire brand. On today's slate, we're going to be talking about our top Disney movies. Join us. So Disney movies, obviously, ginormous brand, encompasses even more by the day. I feel like they buy a new company every other week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah,
it's
isn't that the truth? You get on a Disney Plus and it's like The Simpsons.
yeah, it's like, oh, okay,
Oh,
all right.
yeah, okay.
And they just bought Fox, Lucasfilm a while ago. But yeah, so this what we're going to be talking about today is strictly Disney animation portion, Disney Pixar, Disney live action. You could throw Star Wars in there, but I think today we're going to try to exclude Marvel because I think Marvel, for the most part, it just almost operates as in its own
It's
like
so
entity,
independent.
even though it is like under the umbrella of Disney. But at this point, what isn't under the umbrella of Disney? Um, so I'll let Yordi start off with his. We'll just kind of go back and forth on like what our opinions on some of
Yeah,
these movies are.
typical schedule here, back and forth kind of deal, and we're doing our favorites game. Jacob and I also are going to be getting into it. We got a good slate of movies coming up, but it's kind of fun to do these intermittent episodes where you kind of get to learn about us and what we like.
For sure.
So when we're giving our opinion on movies, you're like, oh, maybe you already didn't like that because his one of his favorite Disney movies was Aladdin. Aladdin is just one of those films that it quite literally captured magic for me. If you talk about Disney magic, that kind of thing, Aladdin was just a beautiful, wonderful movie growing up. I
Yeah.
feel like it was one of those movies. I didn't have Disney growing up. We would go to the beach, and while my family was out in the sun, I would be the one that was trying to watch indoors, turn on Phineas and Ferb or whatever movie was on. And I remember Aladdin especially was just one that if it was on, nothing else was going on for me.
Yeah.
With Robin Williams as genie and just the focus on the main character of Aladdin himself.
Yeah.
You got Princess Jasmine in the lineup of Disney princesses, but that movie that she's from was actually just a real story, not about Disney princesses. And it's got so much comedy in it. And growing up, you kind of it's funny how Disney operates. You watch these films and you're like, "Well, missed that joke."
Yeah.
Those kinds
Yeah,
of
that's
things.
so true.
But yeah, I don't have too much to say with Apu and just kind of the magic carpet, all the kind of antics,
The music in that
the
movie is
music.
unreal.
Um, it captured a lot of fun. I think maybe too, it was in like kind of that peak of that animation style that Disney had. I think Jacob and I were kind of talking about it before. Like you have your older films like Snow White. It's
Yeah.
like it's probably really cool they were getting into animation in the first place, but Aladdin just kind of like peaked at that
Yeah.
like early 90s 2000s style that you maybe see in Lion King, where like today it's really advanced, but it's almost like missing something that
Yeah.
they once had.
For sure.
And I think Aladdin had that to the fullest effect.
Yeah.
Passing it off to you, Jacob.
I think like to kind of piggyback before I say mine, like I believe they called that kind of era of Disney movies like the Renaissance era of their movies because you've got The Lion King, obviously, you've got Pocahontas, you've got uh, a couple others as well, and Aladdin especially, and The Little Mermaid,
Little Mermaid, yes, sir.
and you can kind of see how Disney's kind of strayed away from that because obviously the technological advances have made it. I'm not gonna say easier, but a lot less needing of like hand drawn animation as much as those movies did. And I feel like to piggyback what you said again, that's what they're missing. And it's hard to go back to things because Disney's a such changing and an evolving and innovation company, which is that's what they were built on. But at the same time, you built a foundation upon that, and sometimes it's sometimes needed to revisit those. Um, but for mine, it's going to go somewhat in that area or era, but a little later is Brother Bear. I think that is
Banger.
a fantastic movie. The story and kind of the more adult meaning, in retrospect of that movie of what it means to have family relationships, what it means to you may become friends with somebody you're unlikely to be, and also I think a scene that stood out to me the most, and I'm sure most people, is when like Coda is discussing with Kenai, how humans are looked at as the monsters, and it's just kind of like almost like a perspective kind of check of you can be somebody's monster when you're not meaning to be, when you think it's just your everyday kind of you know goal or thing to do. And also the soundtrack for that, Phil Collins, big fan, big fan of Phil Collins and whatever setting of music he was in. And just for On My Way is a banger.
On My Way.
And
Oh,
that
perfect
one,
song.
obviously, Phil Collins is known for his soundtrack on many things like Tarzan and Brother Bear and multiple other movies. But Brother Bear to me is a movie that kind of talks about purpose, but also friendship, and how challenges can come your way through that. Um, but I'm just gonna go ahead with my second one, then I'll throw it back to
Hey,
you.
yes, sir. Whoa, pop. No, okay. Hey, hey,
All right, we're gonna leave
hey,
that one in.
yeah, edit that out. I will say though, Brother Bear, deep cut.
Yeah,
I first start now, and I think it's one that I think a lot of people actually do love that movie, but I don't think a lot of people also have seen the movie.
yeah.
And so I would say if you haven't, you should definitely go check it out.
I
I
think
think
it's a good movie. That's
it's good.
especially for your kids. It's not like a really stimulating movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Lion King movie, where it's not really vibrant colors, but they make it had its way of making the colors pop off the
Yeah.
screen.
I mean, just like it I think, and it's also the same with Lion King.
Yeah,
Just something about just being in nature
correct.
kind of
Yeah,
made it
that
have
mix
that pop and everything already. It was just an attractive view.
for sure.
And yeah, that lesson is just unbeatable. It's something, it's kind of fun having a brother growing up,
Yeah,
an older brother, and watching that movie. It kind of touched me.
different
It,
perspective of
yeah,
it,
I
for
was like,
sure.
hey, I don't know. That's a special movie, so I agree with you.
Yeah, and again, like that era of movie or of movies for Disney is almost untouchable. And I think a lot of generations can vouch for that, and that's why they're easily outraged when Disney tries to keep trying to do these live actions and trying to incorporate those. But at the same time, it's a newer generation and it's targeted towards them. So, but for my second movie, I I'm gonna throw one out there. I'm gonna say National Treasure
What?
is is up there for I don't know.
You're kind of deep in your bag
I
today, Jacob.
love I love both of them. And obviously there's a lot of memes around Nick Cage in
Okay.
general as an
Man.
actor. But I think I'm a big American history kind of person. I felt like you got a mix of an action movie that wasn't, Tom Cruise, that wasn't your typical action actor, even though Nick Cage is an action kind of actor, but it kind of dwelt in like the history side of it, and also it wasn't, you know, they kept it watchable for kids as well.
Yeah, yeah. And I gotta, speaking of the Jacob, I gotta ask, when you were watching this as a kid, were you ever, because I have my answer, did you ever legitimately think it might be possible to steal the
No,
Declaration of
no, I
Independence?
I honestly thought for somebody to go through the parameters of figuring out how the document is secured, and then also figure out a plan how to avoid those things that are in place to prevent the document, I was like, there's no way that they just didn't do that. This is just all, made up.
Yeah,
Like they had to do some research on how some of the documents are kept, but like at the same time kept federal secrets
yeah.
at the
I
same time.
remember watching and being like, oh my God.
That I could do that right
Yeah.
now.
Our deepest secrets. But
But if I had to choose between the two, that's also tough. I think the second one is up there for me with the Book of Secrets. You have that presidential factor into it, and obviously you've already known these characters of uh, like Riley and all them. But I do think National Treasure, you can kind of lump those two together. It's just one. Like those are up there for me, and kind of like an action packed slash you know good overall movie that you could watch with the entire family.
yeah, yeah. And not that, I mean, we don't care about spoiler alerts.
Yeah, that's
Which one was the one where, like, isn't there one where they're like underground and the guy's like drowning?
that's the second one.
That one freaked me out. I
Yeah,
might not like the second one because I remember watching that and being like hyperventilating.
that was a little
A little dark.
yeah a little more what they could have done with how they killed off that guy, but I felt like it was interesting though. Like
Oh, it was good. It was good.
yeah, and I can't
Pulling
even
out.
remember. I guess I remember how the first one ended because they're finding like that treasure in like the tomb shaft kind of deal, and like in the middle of New York or something,
Yeah,
which I thought
yeah.
was weird, but at the same time, like that's probably possible because New York is in
New
a
York's got to have some treasure.
yeah, and but I thought that movie was really well put together, and just those two together, and the TV series that followed that. I'm not even going to
Didn't
comment on
even
that.
know. Didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it came out a couple years ago. And I'm okay with it, but like they should have. I know Nicolas Cage is probably hard to get on screen and very expensive actor to get, but I feel like they could have done better, and they probably could have done a third one sooner after the second one.
I
But
got
I
you.
know how
They
movie
were just
budgets are
trying to rake in one more.
for sure,
Yeah. It's
for
one of like
sure.
those good callbacks to Disney.
Yeah,
I can go ahead and jump into mine though.
go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want everyone to close their eyes.
Okay.
Okay. Ka-chow. Cars is the most goated Disney Pixar film of all time. I'm talking Life is a Highway. I
Banger,
want to write it a banger. That song
banger of a song.
alone makes it the best movie.
And I don't even think like Rascal Flatts was a big band prior to that song
It really,
coming out.
I think I might
I
be
don't. We got to date check this later, so we'll give
we'll
you an
check it
update.
out. My mom had a Rascal Flatts CD growing up, so
But like that movie came out in what 2006?
yeah, you might be right.
I don't know,
Man, imagine your hit
2008 maybe.
coming from Life is a Highway on Cars. You peaked in your first song. But that song alone is not why that movie's great. That movie, it's like growing up with it, I almost like didn't appreciate it enough. But like
Yeah,
the comedy of Mater just being a funny character. They said some stuff in there that like once again, I'm kind of just I
it's
grasp it.
targeted towards
Yeah,
the older like
yeah,
people watching that.
yeah. But that kind of like story with it, just like it's almost like comforting. It's really cool. It's the movie I want to show my nephews when it's time to watch like a Disney movie
For
that I
sure,
know they'll love. They're gonna love Cars because Cars are cool.
exactly.
And even the second Cars did a
Ooh,
great job.
yeah,
I
that's a
think
good movie.
having Mater as the main character because he was just so beloved and so funny.
The spy portion of
Yeah,
it, it's really
it was
cool.
really really interesting, really deep.
Yeah,
But even like the simple, once again, like um kind of like message about like being humble and showing like a humble town with Radiator Springs. And
How like taking the highway in your life,
yeah,
sometimes you're missing out.
yeah, Lightning
Yeah.
McQueen getting over himself and got him further
Mm.
than any of his racing before did. And it's just a movie that kind of sticks with you. And ka-chow, the memes that come with it. Freaking Chick Hicks, ka-chigga, ka-chigga. That movie's funny. You're laughing right now because it's so good. Um, yeah, Cars might be my actual favorite Disney movie of all time. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass it to you for your third, Jacob.
And we can throw in some like a last minute, honorary mention if
Yeah,
possible, if you can think
true.
of one. I'm gonna argue with that Pixar one. This is gonna be
I swear, if you say like Bug's Life or
oh,
something,
you just that's okay. Yeah, my top Pixar movie is Bugs Life. That I was down to Ratatouille or The Bugs Life, mainly because Ratatouille is like an ASMR movie.
mm-hmm.
Um, just the lighting and like kind of gets you in like a comfort mood and like cooking and all that
I
kind of stuff.
always wanted to put some strawberry and cheese together.
Yeah, and have those like
Have those little swirls in my head.
sensations.
Yeah.
But I've always thought Bugs Life was so underrated, and it came out around the time of Toy Story 2, so it probably didn't get as much limelight as that. But at the same time, the story of Bugs Life being, you're seeing Flick go through his kind of trouble to save his colony from from a problem he discussed. And also, it kind of leans into the point of Hopper's view of saying how ants can be weak, but we know if they band together, kind of
Together.
talking about whatever you want to infer that to, how when you band together, you're stronger than just one individual.
Oh,
And obviously, that's kind of like a silly take on that movie's plot. But I just think the uniqueness of that was essential at the time because Toy Story was just was taking off already. Nemo was coming out a couple years later. Monsters Inc. a couple years later, and Bugs Life to me was just I don't know. To me, it feels like a good kids movie to show to a kid, but also like I could sit down and watch it right now and be fully content with watching it. So that's my argument for against Cars being the goat.
disgusting pick.
No, that's
Um,
no,
Bug's Life.
no. Now, if I
Trash.
sat up here and said, I don't know, Toy Story
I
1,
don't like Bug's Life.
okay, Bugs Life gets too much
Flick.
hate.
Flick is his name.
Yes,
I'm gonna
Flick.
flick you off.
No, okay.
Yeah.
No, that movie gets too much hate, and okay, it can be a little traumatizing because of the grasshoppers.
That was freaky when he was stepping on him.
Yeah, I
That might
thought
be.
that was
I might
weird.
not like the movie because that freaked me out as a kid.
Um, and also, I was just between that and Ratatouille. Ratatouille is a great movie.
Ratatouille's
That's
fantastic.
everybody knows that, and the Toy Story movies are obviously those. That's like a cult following. You
Yeah.
know, I love those movies.
They're making a fifth one, Toy Story 5.
Yeah, we'll see if we go see that in theaters or we wait until it's free about a
Yeah.
month
Feels
after.
like a free one.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my top Pixar movie. And if you have any honorary mentions, I have two honorary mentions.
Yeah, I'll throw some in there and I'll get to my last pick and I'll kind of go through it quick. And yeah, I don't like Bugs Life, but it's good. It's good. It's good. It's fine. I'm not. I'm done bringing it up. I'm done bringing it up. Um, I don't know. It never stood out to me. There's another movie that kind of talks about a lower species banding together to stop a stronger species. I'm gonna just say that
Where's this going?
ape together strong.
What? What is that?
That is from
That's a Disney movie?
Planet of the Apes. No,
Oh, I
I'm
was like, I
no, no,
was
no.
so confused.
I just
I was
wanted
like,
to.
where is this
I
going?
love the Planet of the Apes movies. That's all
Wait,
I wanted
the
to say.
original, or are you talking about the ones with
The
James
ones
Franco?
Franco.
Okay, okay, that's
Oh
what I was
my
trying to.
goodness, those are so good.
Yeah,
But
the older ones are
those are not
creepy, but
Disney. And so I'll be moving on. I'm gonna go ahead and do my honorary mentions. I feel like a lot of people are really fond of Disney princess movies, and I am too. Like I really like Princess and the Frog. I
Yeah,
really
that's a
like
good one.
Frozen.
Mm.
Like Frozen is good. I hated Let It Go for like a solid 5 years because it was just so overplayed.
For sure.
But it is a really good song too,
Yeah.
and like we listened to it in the car,
Mm.
and I was like, "The past is in the past." I was belting it and loving it. So Frozen's really really good too. I think that it's on a lot of people's number one on their list, and I think that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That movie's got a lot of heart.
Mm.
But I think putting on my nostalgia glasses one more time, thinking about going to the beach, watching movies in the summer. There is a summer movie that you could be thinking of. I don't know if you're thinking of,
I, I I could be wrong, but I mean, I'm sure.
or what you're thinking have a little blue creature in it.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Lilo and Stitch
that's
is
a good one.
it's one of those. Growing up, it was always on at the beach,
Yeah.
and I think that the novelty of it just kind of being strange, like a little bit weirder with an
Yeah, like a
alien.
unique idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very unique. Um, and Stitch being kind of crazy, like Tasmanian Devil.
Mhm.
It was just like almost unconventional
Yeah.
for a Disney movie at a time, but it still had that Disney sweetness and that Disney lesson, especially just oriented towards family, which kind of plucks at my heart a little bit because I always care about family.
Yeah.
Um, I just I don't even have too much to say about it. Shout out the little Disney website video game where you're creating the sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
From that was based off like the show or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Um,
That was good.
you had like you were in like a was it Mumbo Jumbo and Pleakley?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were in like Mumbo Jumbo's lab making that big sandwich. I used to be really scared of that really big guard shark alien thing,
The
the big one.
Gantu.
Gantu.
Why do I know that? I don't know.
I don't know.
I know random facts like
Yeah, Jacob is kind of really good at that, by the way.
that.
We had a Disney quiz one time in the dog park, and he knew things that I didn't.
I, fun fact: Lilo and Stitch was the first movie my parents ever took me to see. And I think it came out 2003 ish. I could be wrong about that, but like, they said I sat down the entire movie. I mean, that was three, so
It's captivating, man. I
and just
mean,
really had my attention the whole
that
time.
story with that little blue crazy creature,
Yeah,
little Stitch.
yeah,
It was fun. He had antics. It was sweet. I feel like it was one of those movies that was so crazy that even those sweet parts as a kid that you might be like boring,
yeah,
you paid attention to.
for
And I
sure.
think that's what makes a great movie. And I
Yeah,
was glad Disney captured that there.
yeah. I'm going to talk about three that couldn't make the list, but I'm not going to talk about them long. The Pirates' first three movies, obviously, I think they have a great soundtrack, great character development. The Jack Sparrow character is one of the most likable characters, I think, in the Disney realm of characters that they've made. And obviously has correlations to the theme park ride and the history of that. And it was the
Yep.
first rendition of a Disney park ride into a movie. And for it to have that much success was insane. The second one is the original Haunted Mansion, not the newest one. The one with Eddie
Eddie
Murphy
Murphy?
is fire. People
Yeah.
hate on that movie for
Pretty
too
good.
much.
Pretty good.
I thought it was a great movie.
Freaked me out. I feel like now I'm like, dang, a lot of Disney movies kind of freaked me out, but
That's
good movie.
it was a little darker than the one they just came out with, but I think that one is up there for me. And I will say this goes out to my buddy Will Agee. I'm gonna throw out Holes as an honorary mention.
Holes is so good. I'm
It's a
tired of this,
great movie.
Grandpa.
That's who the hell that?
Yeah.
Anyways,
I kind of
that's up there. It's not obviously on the list, but I think it's a decent movie. It gets too much hate.
It's a lot of it. Yeah. It's all right.
It's
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 good.
a
It's
tolerable movie,
better than it. Yeah.
you know. But yeah, I think with that, just want to thank everybody for listening. You can check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And with that, until the next episode, you've seen it all.